How difficult is it to not show preferential treatment or favoritism to contestants? The answer is very difficult, at least for Miss USA owners. If you're brand new to the channel, my name is Dani Walker. Welcome. Thank you so much for clicking this episode. If you'd like to support the channel and see other episodes, don't forget to subscribe and check out memberships for access to exclusive episodes. This episode has been a long time coming because we have to talk about favoritism and preferential treatment when it comes to pageant directors, pageant leadership, pageant staff members, or pageant sponsors. I'm going to use a very specific example of USA favoritism that's happening right now because so many people have sent me messages about this, but I will say that I've had my own experience with favoritism in different organizations, and unfortunately I have seen this also happen to my clients as well. I'm sure if you're watching this and you've competed in pageants yourself, you probably have some kind of story that has to do with favoritism as well, so you get it. I'm about to show you some screenshots, but one thing that really blew my mind about this whole scenario is that we just had major rigging allegations happen for Miss USA in 2022. How can we forget all of that? It's literally been so soon. You would think that people would really be on their toes when it comes to transparency and optics of an organization, because you need those things to build trust with your contestants, your fan base, and your sponsors. This story begins when Lou, who was the Miss Florida Teen USA 2018, decided to compete for Miss Florida USA this year. The moment that she decided to share with everyone that she's entering, I already started getting messages from fan pages saying that Lou is going to win Miss Florida USA. I decided to talk about this now versus after Florida USA because Lou is a capable title holder. She's a former Miss Florida Teen USA. She has the support of her community, fan pages, and her mom. Her mom is a very successful businesswoman who created the Your Best Friend beauty brand. So obviously it makes it a little bit easier to prep for a pageant when you have a bit more financial backing from either yourself or your family. I feel like Lou has the potential to win Miss Florida USA, but what I am concerned about, and the reason I'm creating this episode, is because if she wins, these screenshots are going to pop right back up, and then I feel like we're going to experience this Crystal Stewart era 2.0 with more rigging allegations. And what is very unfair to contestants is that if you're experiencing preferential treatment or favoritism and you win, then many people are going to say that you only won due to that favoritism, when really these contestants are capable of winning by their own merit. So the real person that's being given a disservice is the contestant who's favored who wins. Now, like I said, because Lou has potential to win, because she is a front runner this year, I want to talk about this now versus later. Recently, Lou created an Instagram reel, and this has been passed around all over social media. Unfortunately, she added some collaborators to this post. The collaborators were Supermodels Unlimited, which is a sponsor of Miss USA and regularly works with Miss USA, and also Layla Rose, the current owner of the organization. I do not understand why anyone would ever do this, but Layla accepted that collaboration. And people are watching, contestants are watching, the optics matter. Essentially, when the owner of an organization decides to collaborate with you on a post, that can potentially send out the message to other people that there is favoritism. Now, it would appear that soon after this post went live that Layla deleted that collaboration. So she is no longer a collaborator, but honestly, the damage has already been done. So many people already saw this. And then on top of that, Layla decided to comment on the post. Layla commented, "You are the example. I love this so much." Obviously, if you were Lou, you would be so excited that Layla is leaving these types of comments on your post. Who wouldn't be excited to have this type of endorsement from the owner of the organization that you're competing for? But unfortunately, many people are looking at this public post and they're seeing it as favoritism towards Lou. When people read these types of comments on a public post, they start to connect the dots and make assumptions which might not be true. Another thing that's not a good look is that Layla lives in Florida, and that's the state that Lou potentially may represent at Miss USA. So people might be making assumptions that they're running in the same circles or somehow personally know each other, which they might not. I feel like I'm watching history repeat itself. This is very similar to when Crystal Stewart's Miss Academy gave Arbany the largest sponsorship for coaching out of all the contestants. Arbany was the only one whose state onstage answer was shared by the Miss Academy. There were multiple posts about Arbany and amongst other things. I already created those episodes. You can check them out if you haven't already seen them. None of this is a good look, and it does not communicate transparency to contestants. And because of posts like this, I've gotten many more messages asking, should I even bother to compete in the USA organization? I've personally witnessed favoritism in certain pageants, whether I was a contestant or a title holder, and I know that my clients have had similar experiences as well. It always makes me really, really sad. And my message to pageant staff, directors, or pageant sponsors is that sure, many of us are going to have our own sentimental or our personal favorites, but don't intervene in any way in the competition. And what you're gonna do for one contestant, you're gonna need to do for all. I would say no problem with the comment that was left on Lou's page if every single Miss Florida USA contestant was getting those same comments on their page as well, or was getting collaborations with Supermodels Unlimited, which is a pageant sponsor. If you're in pageant leadership and you have a favorite contestant, that's fine, but don't share that with everyone. And if your favorite is that good, she'll win on her own merit. You don't need to help her. In fact, if she does win and you do express favoritism, you are only hurting your favorite contestant, because then the rumors start to fly. And unfortunately, I have to create this episode and address this, which I feel like it shouldn't even be a thing. To me, it's very much common sense to not make these type of posts on social media, but we have to talk about it, because if Lou is a front runner and she wins, the moment that she wins, it's not fair to her that all of these things are going to start popping up post pageant. So we need to talk about it now. And my message to contestants who are witnessing favoritism, you have two options. You can decide that you do not abide by that type of leadership and you can pull out of that pageant. Leave. Don't compete if you're witnessing that and if it's a really big concern to you. Or you stick around, you stick it out, and you put up with it. But let me tell you, this can seriously affect your reign if you are chosen as the winner. I had a personal experience where I actually won a pageant, where I saw clear favoritism of other contestants. And throughout that year, I was continually mistreated because I wasn't the favorite. I had a miserable year with a director, and I worked so hard making multiple appearances, prepping for my next pageant that I would be moving on to, and I hated the entire experience, and it was really, really unfortunate, and I was very disappointed by it, and because of it, I would never recommend that pageant to another contestant moving forward. So there were a lot of contestants that potentially would have competed down the road, but when they reached out to me privately, I said, don't even waste your time. If you are not her favorite, win or lose, you are not gonna have a good time. I hate sharing that type of messages with pageant contestants. For me, it's really, really unfortunate. I don't like to see this happening. Please, pageant directors, moving forward, let's not have another pageantry reimagined era with a huge rigging scandal that's all over international news. Let's not let history repeat itself, and it is so easily avoidable. Do not show favoritism either behind closed doors, and especially not on public forums, because people are watching. They're watching very closely. And what's incredible is because of this channel, I don't even have to keep up with any of these things. There are enough pageant contestants, pageant fans, pageant title holders that are watching all of these things happening in live time very closely, and they're screenshotting it, they're recording it, they're sending it to me, and they are asking me to create these episodes. And it just breaks my heart that they're experiencing any of this, because This shouldn't happen in USA. This shouldn't happen in any other organization. Like I said, though, recently I had a client that was telling me that she was competing in a pageant and she was very weary of competing because the director was the longtime coach of a front runner at the pageant. That's a huge conflict of interest. Those things shouldn't be happening in pageantry. Now, fortunately, we prepared a lot and my client did end up winning the pageant. So I was very, very thankful and grateful that we prepared in a way that really showed the judges that she deserved to win that title and that she earned that title through her own merit. But she almost didn't compete in that pageant because she saw clear favoritism. Favoritism hurts contestants, it hurts directors, it hurts organizations. There should be no place for it in pageantry. We need to uphold ethics and values of integrity and transparency. Thanks for tuning into this episode. I'm sad that this is the latest update that I'm bringing you. I don't like this at all. If you want to hear the latest pageant news, or if you enjoy travel or thrifting and upcycling, then please subscribe to the channel and check out these other recent episodes that I hope you will enjoy. I appreciate you tuning in. Please also let me know what episode that you want to see next on the channel. I'm always listening in and taking notes about what episodes that you want to see on the channel, and I love creating those for you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you very soon.